Hi, Mike DePung here. Welcome once again to Spirit Hill, a place where I like to gather and share things that I've learned and hopefully that others will share about healing and love and light. Um, Yesterday in the video that I did, I mentioned that one of my neighbors died. I wanted to address that a little bit more because they're having the memorial service this morning for him. And I'm not in St. Louis this morning, so I won't be able to be there. But Allan is his name, and he was a man who, as I referred to yesterday, seemed to have a very full time container of life. He was a man who had a loving family. He was an accomplished professional, known in his field, doctoral degree. Um, he really had a great sense of humor, a very sharp analytical mind that he used for the humor. And he was somebody that was just fun to be around. I didn't know him really super well or intimately, but I did appreciate him. And it seemed like it just came to the point where his life container was full. And as I spoke of yesterday, that surface tension at the top just broke. And he spilled over into eternity, into a new plane, transitioned into a new plane of existence. And as I thought about him, and as I think about life and spirits around me, my spirits that help, my helping and compassionate spirits, my guides, angels, others of the unseen realm, they always seem to bring in appropriate connections for me, things that mean a lot. And I've used cards as a tool that I share from that beautiful deck of the Mystical Shaman Oracle deck. But because of my background, and again, this is the way, if you're healing and you're in this process and you go through things, whatever it is, whether it's grief and loss, or whether it's growing and enlightenment, all elements of healing, whatever who you are, how you flavor the specific identity of spirit as you, the talents, the abilities that you have, the skills, how you have developed those things, all come into play. And so for me, oftentimes, because I was a literature teacher, I was a teacher in the English language arts, Spirit will use poems. And this came to me in reference to death and dying. And it's Walt Whitman, who was one of my favorites. And I just want to quickly share the end of a poem called As I Ebbed with the Ocean of Life. And it's a beautiful poem, and I don't mean to analyze it, but I just want to, it's just a part of it that Spirit brought to me that applies to my feelings about Allan and about others who have died, any who have died, about ones that I have dealt with, griefs that I have dealt with. So here, and maybe this will just help some of you in response to thinking about, hey, this special person in my life died, they passed away, they transitioned to a next plane, and can I still relate to them? Is there really still, as I mentioned yesterday, a relationship with them? Well, let me share this with you because this is what I was given, and this is what I chose to think about. Walt Whitman writes this: Ebb, ocean of life, the flow will return. Cease not your moaning, you fierce old mother, referring to the ocean of life. Endlessly cry for your castaways. But fear not, deny not me, rustle not up so hoarse and angry against my feet as I touch you or gather from you. So what is this loss that the poet is referring to, of the fierce old mother, of the ocean of life? Well, they are the things, because, and I'm going to just explain this a moment. They are the elements that she cares for in some way. Every piece of detritus or anything that floats in her, she loves, she embraces, she wraps herself around, and they are totally immersed in her. But when they finally get to a shore, wash up, and that last wave pushes them up beyond the reach of the next wave, she has lost those things that she valued so much. And Walt Whitman was walking along the shoreline and he saw this line of what we might call detritus, but still he valued, Whitman values the common and sees eternity and spirit in all the little things that are common. And so as he walks along and sees this, he thinks about how the ocean must have cared for these little bits and pieces, this stringy line of perhaps seaweed and the froth from the retreating wave that is left in the sand line, and the prismatic colors that makes sometimes when the light's hitting is just right. And here's what I wanted to get to especially. He looks down and he says, "Me and mine, loose windrows, little corpses, froth, snowy white, and bubbles. See from my dead lips ooze the end exuding at last. See the prismatic colors glistening and rolling. Tufts of straw, sand, fragments, buoyed hither from many moods, one contradicting another. From the storm, the long calm, the darkness, the swell, musing, pondering, a breath, a briny tear, a dab of liquid as soil, up just as much out of fathomless workings fermented and thrown, a little blossom or two torn, just as much over the waves floating, drifted at random, just as much for that sobbing dirge of nature, just as much whence we come that blare of the cloud trumpets, we, capricious, brought hither we know not whence." So he's saying all of us, and he's identifying with these little pieces of stuff along the shoreline. All of this that was cared for, that was a part of the thoughts and care and bathing of the ocean, are now away from her reach. She suffered loss. What is the relationship? Let me finish this up. We, capricious, brought hither we know not whence, spread out before you. You up there, walking or sitting, whoever you are, we too lie in drifts at your feet. He's saying, remember this that has been lost. Connect with us. We are aware of you. Whether it's those who have ascended that are transitioned, and they're looking down and saying, hey, you guys down there, talk to us, remember us. Or whether it's like they are the things below that have been lost. And they're saying, remember us. In all of our little bitty pieces, in all the evidence of who and what we were in the ocean of life, now it's left here for us to connect with. So on a day like this, I think of someone like Allan, or yesterday I referred to my friend Steve, many other loved ones that have transitioned. And I speak with them and I tell them that I am aware of their existence and their beauty and the special, unique qualities they had, whether it was a tuft of straw, sands, or fragments, whether it was a little blossom that had floated on the surface, whatever it is, whatever characterized them, I relate to them. And that is what grief can do. Like the old mother, incessantly moaning for her lost ones. Here we can connect. It's not over. There's connection. We can speak. We can remember. And the grief then helps us in our remembrance, because we grieve them, helps us to nurture the love and the relationship that we had and make it even stronger and better. So, enough said for today. Blessings to you, love and peace, and healing and love and light. Till next time, allow these spirits, please, allow the spirits that are around you to buoy you up, to make these connections for you. Look into your own heart, because it's to heart energy directly that spirits communicate. Listen, seek them, and they will respond. All of this, we are unity. We're all one. I am spirit. You are spirit. We are one. So we're in this together. The spirits too, all the spirits and all things around us. Engage and remember loved ones and connect and nurture the relationship that is still there. Love.